So the question is, if the figure of capital work in progress is positive in case of a company on the balance sheet date uh, in the cash flow statement, now what does it mean? So remember, when we make the cash flow statement, how do we make the cash flow statement? We make the cash flow statement by comparing. Comparing what? Comparing the figures of the assets and the liabilities in the balance sheet of the entity as of the last balance sheet date and the last to last balance sheet date. Meaning what? Meaning in our case we are looking at the balance sheet which is of 31st March 23. That means we are making the cash flow statement for the year ended on 31st March 23. Now this figure is appearing as positive. So capital work in progress in this case is appearing positive 14,267. Now it means what? It means the figure of capital work in progress has decreased. And since the figure of an asset is decreasing, for the purpose of the cash flow statement, it becomes inflow, isn't it? Because if the figure is decreasing, that means what? Conceptually, that means that asset is getting disposed. Now that asset in this case is not disposed by way of sale. The capital work in progress is getting disposed of by getting transformed into monetized fixed assets. Correct, fixed assets, right? So that is the reason as to why this figure is positive. I hope that answers your question.
Sir, so it means that it is getting transformed into developed assets for the company.
Correct, absolutely. And since, see, ultimately when you are making the cash flow statement, your number have to link and tally. So every item you have to show exactly following the principles. If an asset is increasing, it is outflow. If an asset is decreasing, it is inflow. Doesn't really matter as to what that asset is. If it is property, plant and equipment, or it is capital work in progress, or it is intangible asset under development, doesn't really matter. Apply the principle and based on that take the figure out. So if this figure in this case is positive, it simply means that so much of the capital work in progress which were there on the balance sheet of 31st March 22, it has got converted into fixed assets which are ready to use.